History has always been written in the names of kings, conquerors, and emperors. But hidden in the shadows of their thrones stood women whose influence was far greater than the chronicles reveal. These were the ancient queens. Not mere consorts, but strategists, survivors, and visionaries. Tonight, we uncover the hidden history of powerful women in antiquity. From Mesopotamia to China, from the palaces of Egypt to the deserts of Palmyra. These are the forgotten stories of queens who shaped civilizations. Nearly 4,000 years ago, in Mesopotamia, there lived a queen named Shibtu. When her husband, King Zimri-Lim, marched to war, it was Shibtu who ruled. Her letters, written in cuneiform clay tablets, reveal a woman of extraordinary intelligence. She managed the kingdom's food supplies, commanded trade, and even ran a network of spies. Shibtu proved that real power was not always seen in battle, but in strategy, patience, and diplomacy. She stands today as one of the first known female rulers in world history. In the golden land of Egypt, where pharaohs were worshipped as gods, stood queens with titles greater than wives. They were the great royal wives. Queens like Ahmose Nefertari and Tia, their power extended beyond palaces. They negotiated with foreign kings, influenced religious life, and legitimized dynasties. Tia, wife of Amenhotep III, exchanged letters directly with rulers of the Near East. She was not a passive queen. She was a queen diplomat, shaping Egypt's foreign policy. The great royal wives remind us that even in the age of pyramids, queens were the hidden architects of power. She was feared, she was respected, and she was the mother of Alexander the Great. Her name was Olympias. Deeply religious, she surrounded herself with rituals to the god Dionysus. But behind the incense and ceremonies was a woman of ruthless ambition. Some whispered that she ordered assassinations, even of her own husband, King Philip II. But Olympias's true power was her son. She molded Alexander's destiny, filling him with the belief that he was chosen by the gods. Without Olympias, perhaps there would have been no Alexander the Great. She reminds us that the mothers of kings often shaped the future of empires. Her name has survived for centuries, wrapped in myth and legend. Cleopatra VII, the last pharaoh of Egypt. History calls her a seductress, but she was far more. Fluent in many languages, a master of politics, Cleopatra fought to preserve Egypt's independence in the shadow of Rome. Her alliances with Julius Caesar and later Mark Antony were not only of passion, but of survival. She commanded fleets, managed an economy, and inspired loyalty. Her tragic death, choosing to die rather than march in Roman chains, ensured her immortality. Cleopatra was not just the last pharaoh. She was a symbol of resistance and the eternal face of female power in history. In China's Tang dynasty, there rose a woman like no other, Wu Zetian. She began as a concubine, but step by step, she conquered the imperial court. She eliminated rivals. She built alliances. And finally, she declared herself the only female emperor in China's history. Her rule was marked by expansion, stability, and cultural growth. Yet her enemies painted her as cruel, accusing her of tyranny. But Zetian proved something undeniable, that a woman could sit upon the dragon throne and rule an empire. She remains one of the most controversial and one of the most powerful female rulers in history. In the deserts of Syria, a warrior queen challenged Rome itself. Her name was Zenobia. When her husband was assassinated, she seized power not as a caretaker, but as a conqueror. Her armies swept across Egypt, Anatolia, and the Levant. For a moment, her empire stretched from the Nile to the Euphrates. She styled herself the equal of emperors. But Rome could not allow her defiance. Emperor Aurelian marched east, and Zenobia was captured. Some say she died in humiliation. Others claim she lived in quiet luxury. But her legacy is eternal. She was the queen who dared to defy the greatest empire on earth. Zenobia remains a symbol of ambition, courage, and resistance. From Shibtu's clay tablets to Cleopatra's throne, from Zetian's dragon throne to Zenobia's rebellion, these queens remind us that history is not only written by kings. Their influence may have been hidden in shadows, but their power shaped civilizations. And perhaps the greatest lesson of all: true power is not always in the crown, but in the courage to defy the world's expectations. So, tell us, which queen's story spoke to you the most? Was it Cleopatra's brilliance, Zetian's rule, or Zenobia's rebellion? Comment below. And if you want to uncover more hidden histories of powerful women in antiquity, make sure to like, subscribe, and join us again on Mystic Legacy Vault.